Okay, everybody, we are gathered here today to talk about two energies that we just discovered in our energy exchange video. And those energies are boredom and courage. I love this because I think a big part of the issue with the world today is the boredom that has come from the apathy that has been created by the fear that we have been instilled with. And that fear that tells us there is no point, there is no hope for the future, there's nothing that can be done here. I am broken, I am lost, I am unworthy. And so what's the point of me being a creative? What's the point of me going to school? What's the point of me pursuing a new love? Why don't I just stick with what I know? Why don't I just stick with what I have? Why don't I just stick with doing nothing at all? Because that fear that they have just implanted us with and drown us in has created this sense of apathy, which has created this feeling of boredom. And so I am so pleased to get to look at this. I did not plan this. Hopefully you got to watch my energy exchange video and see that it is the pendulum that rules this clearing. I really genuinely drop myself into as neutral a place as possible so that I can do this work from a space of curiosity with you and open-mindedness with you. I discover in the moment what is happening here. I have no plan. I have no guidebook other than my training in what we're doing right here, which is called spiritual response therapy or spiritual response technique, depending on, how you Google it or what you're looking at. So let's get started. The first thing I always do is we check in at the root. What's the root story of this boredom? And what is holding us down in that energy of boredom and preventing us from moving into our courage? So let's do that. We go to our first chart. We go to our GPS chart. We're saying, hey, maps, show us the way, show us the direction, show us what we need to explore and look at right here so we can understand, getting slippery, understand this boredom better and be able to really conquer it, really conquering our boredom. The energy of upset. The energy of upset. Okay, so we have this energy of, I'm going to move my thing. Forgive me, because I just noticed you all can't really see it very well. So there's this energy of upset. And that's not enough for me right now. I'm like, I want more. Tell me more. What are we upset about? What are we so upset about that is keeping us in this energy of boredom and in this energy of apathy? Is this 10A or is this our map of consciousness? Okay, so our map of consciousness is this beautiful rainbow colored map. Down here is gross, heavy, dense energies that our consciousness gets stuck into, and that is vindictiveness, misery, guilt, shame, apathy, blame, humiliation, despondency. So what are we upset about? What is the energy that we are most upset about? The energy of blame. Wow, we are stuck in the energy of blame, and this is upsetting for us. And in that blame and in that upset, it is creating the apathy that is creating the boredom, that is creating our blocks to our courage. So do you see how we're building this story here? We are coming from a place of the unknown. We're like, we know we don't feel good. We don't know why, but we know we don't feel good. We know we are bored of this crap. I am bored of this crap. I said that maybe like a month ago in a video, and I kind of caught myself after I said it because I was like, do I sound like I'm being a jerk? But basically I was like, I'm bored of violence. I'm bored of the violent movies. I'm bored of the violent video games. Who freaking cares anymore? It's no longer entertaining. I am no longer entertained by the fighting online. I am no longer entertained by the fighting in politics. I am no longer entertained by, the upset, by the shame, by the despair, by the blame. I am no longer entertained by blaming everybody else for what's going wrong in our world. And I'm no longer entertained blaming myself either. I'm over that. I'm over that. And I think we're all over it. We're sick of it. Let's move into the energy of courage. Let's move into the energy of action. Blame is a very mental game. It requires no action whatsoever. Blame is what you do with your mouth. There is nothing that is done in action. You just get to sit there and cast these spells of, whining and complaining onto someone else while nothing actually changes. Isn't that what we see going on in the world? We just cast blame, but nothing ever changes. And I'm bored of it. I think you're bored of it. If people weren't bored of it, I wouldn't be getting, clients coming to me saying, I'm ready to transform. I'm ready to shift out of this energy. I'm ready to remove myself from these emotional blocks. I'm ready to be done looping in the same patterns and the same habits over and over and over again. And the individual expression of those words to me from these individuals is absolutely a reflection of the greater collective. We are all bored. We're all sick of it. We don't want to do this anymore. We don't want to do this anymore. So what are we going to do today to help us get out of the energy of blame into the energy of courage, into the energy of action, into the energy of creating a new and different reality for ourselves as individuals and for the collective? So what can we clear today that's going to help all of us get out of the energy of blame? What do we need to clear? What do we need to do? What do we need to see? I'm going to go with 6A on that one, because the other opposite on my chart just says reboot this clearing, which we can do that too. So we can just say, let's reboot every clearing we've ever had done. And really what that can mean for you, maybe you're somebody who's never had an official SRT clearing done on you before, but basically it's like, let's go all the way back to the 1980s when these clearings were developed, and we're basically going to say every practitioner who has ever existed, who's ever done SRT, whatever clearing they've ever done, we're asking it to be rebooted. Every individual, every human that has ever had a clearing done, asking for that to be rebooted, asking for all of the prayers and the spells and the words and the intentions to be reignited, so that energy, that force field is moving against the fear and the apathy and the blame. So we're calling that in now. And we're also saying, my pendulum is spinning really fast for that. So I think my pendulum was like, yep, that's great. So we're also clearing our spiritual suicide. We're clearing this desire to kill off our spirit. That is also the apathy and the boredom that we're dealing with right now. And we don't enact that action, we don't physically do that to our physical bodies. But what we are doing is we're saying, I am removing my spirit from this experience. And by doing that, that is when I go into apathy. That is when I go into boredom. Because I fear that there is no other option. I fear that there is no other choice. I fear that my only option is to just allow my spirit to die here, because I do not see a way forward in this current makeup of reality. So we're clearing all of us now of even the thought of allowing our spirits to die here. Clearing all of us from the tendency to want to escape into that energy versus pushing ahead with courage into, no, I will use my spirit. I will use my life force to change the world around me. I hate that I have to feel like such a weirdo for encouraging us to believe that we can change the world around us. I hate that I feel like in this day and age, you're really looked down upon for being somebody that has faith in humanity to do better. I hate that. I don't want to be that. But part of it is, it's such an indication of our own belief about ourselves. If we don't believe in ourselves to change, if we don't watch ourselves be able to change our own lives, how are we going to believe in the collective as a whole's ability to change this world? And we all know this world needs to change. I don't care who you are. We know there are things about this world that need to change. Things that are in human hands. Not things that are out of our control. Not things related to chaos. Things that are absolutely in our hands. Injustice and overconsumption are the first two things that come into my mind. Inequality and overconsumption are the first two things. An insane level of hierarchy. An insane level of void that we are trying to fill with things. Those are two things alone that humans have to take control over being able to change. And I want you to feel like you can change those things in your life now. So releasing all of us from any lie we've ever told ourselves that we are incapable of changing, and that the collective is incapable of changing. I believe in myself and I believe in humanity. Say that. I know it feels cheesy sometimes, but say it. I believe in myself and I believe in humanity. I believe in humanity's ability to create a different world. And sometimes the steps to get there feel like they are steps that go backwards, when it looks like our perception is we're going backwards, but really we're going forward. And that's what I want us to believe right now, is that sometimes you almost have to, it's like reversing out of a parking spot. It's like, yeah, you can't just drive forward out of most parking spots. There's going to be a barrier in the way. You got to reverse out of the parking spot. It's going to look like you're not going towards what you actually need to go towards, but then you get to move forward. Sometimes you got to go around this trailer, you got to go around this curb, you got to go around this bend, but we've got to make the moves to start heading forward, even if that means at first we have to take a step back first. Releasing all of us now into movement, into change, releasing us now from this desire or this belief that there is no hope, there's nothing we can do, and releasing all of us now from anyone or anything that has dampened our fire, dampened our spirit. There's a lot of planets in fire energy right now. Thank the good Lord, because we need that fire. We are no longer going to allow ourselves to have our courage dampened, our passion dampened, our drive dampened. We are not going to be able to make the necessary changes in this world if we are just filled with apathy and boredom. Okay, what else can we do? What else can we do? Do you want me to continue looking at boredom? Do you want me to continue looking at boredom? No. Do you want me to move over to looking at courage? Yes. So we're going to check our percentages. If you've ever watched any of my videos, you know we check in on percentages. So we ask, what percent are we open to our courage? That's 0% down there. That's my 0, and this is my 100. It's like a half a circle scale that goes 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100. I don't know if you can see that, but up here's 100. So then what percent, sorry, I'm going to do that again. What percent are we blocked to our courage? 100% blocked, and we were 0% open to our courage. So a block is this external thing getting in our way, and our openness is our own heart, our own intention, our own desire. We are not open at all to our courage, and we're also blocked to our courage. So we're going to look at those two things right now. And this is usually what happens about halfway through our clearings. We look at the first energy, and then we check in on the second energy. The first energy is what's the root of this? How do we pull up the root? How do we pull up the root of this boredom, this upset, this blame, right? That was the root of our boredom, was actually blame and upset, because we're just kicking back, sitting on our phone, blaming everybody else for the problems and not taking action. We cleared that out of the way. We believe now in ourselves to change. We believe in a future that we can move ahead. So that's where we're at right now. Now we're moving over into courage. How can we open ourselves up to our courage? That's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to open ourselves up, and then we're going to unblock ourselves. So that's what we're doing. That's how these clearings go. What can we do to open ourselves up to our courage? 25, chart 25. There's about maybe 40 or so of these charts in spiritual response technique. Each one has a half of a flower or a whole flower on it, and each flower has petals, and inside of those petals are words, and then I interpret those words. That's how this works. So we're just clearing all of the charts, 10A through 32. Spirit clear it is what we say, in all depths, in all directions, in all layers. And this is when we just let the pendulum spin and we say, there are so many things going on here that are blocking our courage. We need to clear all of those charts. Charts 10A through 32. Chart 10A through 32 is what you learn in advanced SRT training. In beginner SRT training, you learn your first chart through chart 10A. And then after that, 10A through 32 is advanced. And it's more advanced. It's a lot about our spiritual evolution. It's a lot about our relationship with God. It's a lot about our relationship with ourself as God. It's a lot about higher level consciousness stuff, a lot about space-time and all kinds of crazy stuff. So that's what we're clearing right now. And I'm grateful for petals like this that say, just clear all of those advanced charts. You don't have the time, girl, in this one video to go over every single one of the charts that's needed to open you all up to courage. But as I speak and as this pendulum spins, I want you to feel like slowly the portal door that has been blocking you to your courage is opening up. And I'm imagining like the lid on a sewer, right? Or the door on a bank vault. That's really what we're imagining. It is thick, it is heavy, it is made of steel. But we are moving that out of the way. As my pendulum spins, the door on the vault that was holding your courage is opening up. Take a deep breath. Let that out. If you want to, while we're doing these clearings, you can just close your eyes, trust, believe, and ask for yourself to receive any healing benefits that could come from this. I know it's unusual work. There's not a lot of folks who do this work, but I assure you that I have seen my own life change in the life of a lot of people that I have worked with. So I really do trust that it is a respectable healing modality. If nothing else, it opens the door to just self-reflection, right? Like, even if you don't believe in this spiritual healing that takes place, it does open the door for a lot of psychological self-reflection. So the gambler archetype is coming forward. I really appreciate this. So one of the things we need to do to open ourselves up to our courage is to gamble a little bit. What's the harm in gambling? Yeah, you have to take a risk to open yourself up to courage. There is no courage without risk. You don't wait until you have the courage to take the risk. You take the risk and then you have the courage. You have the courage to take the risk, trusting that you know you will be okay with whatever comes afterwards. Do not delay. This is your sign to do the thing you have been putting off. You know who you are. You know what that thing is. Take the risk. Don't delay. Don't delay even one more day. Don't delay even one more day. I'm telling you. Do it today. Do it right now. Gamble. Gamble and take the risk. It is worth it. It is worth it. We have to start somewhere. And I'm not saying there won't be consequences for taking that risk. There likely will be. Some good consequences and some bad. There's very few things in life that just come with 100% positive, wonderful benefit. That's not how life often works. Life is balanced with the challenges and the benefits, the good things, the positive things. But not taking those risks is part of what has kept us under the control of this apathy, this boredom, this blame, and this upset, and has blocked us to our ability to move forward in creating new and interesting and different lives for ourselves. Lives that don't include so much hurt and pain and trauma and sadness and terror and misery. Stop putting up with crap. Stop putting up with stuff you don't believe in. Stop putting up with bad behavior from other people. Stop putting up with it. Don't just sit behind your phone and complain and blame. Take action. Take action to change your life and change the things you don't believe in. Change the things you don't feel good about. We're calling in the gambler archetype for all of us now. Is there anything you want me to clear, yes or no, that is blocking us to our gambler archetype? Yes. What do you want me to clear related to anything blocking us to our gambler archetype? So we're getting our gross energies chart out. Which one of these energies is blocking us to our gambler archetype? The hate of life. Yeah, it's like you don't even want to be here. Why would I gamble? Why would I have courage when I'm at that point where I even just hate this existence, in itself? And again, that hate might not even be yours. And this is something that I think so many of us don't even realize. The hate that you feel for this life is not even your hate. Hate is such a powerful, strong energy. And when there are millions and billions of cell phones all over this planet, and there are people behind those phones thinking and saying hateful things, even when there are bots behind those devices projecting out hateful energy into the world, you feel it. You don't have to be a Pisces rising to feel other people's hateful energy, technology's hateful energy, bots' hateful energy. And this is the problem with conflict, and this is the problem with colonialism, and this is the problem with these kinds of hierarchies. This is the problem with judgment. I am better than you. I deserve better than you. This is the problem with survival of the fittest mentality. We all are impacted. Our energetic force field is impacted. Our mind is impacted. They've done so many studies where they put, cooked rice in 2 jars, and one jar the person speaks kind words into the rice, and the other jar you speak hateful words into the rice, and the rice that is had, the hateful words spoken to it molds like 10 times faster. Our words matter. This is science. I'm not talking woo-woo spiritual stuff right now. This is science. It's true and it's proven, and that's why prayer works. Doesn't always work the way we want it to work or we think it will work out, but it works in its own way. And oftentimes we don't even know what's best for us. We don't even know what our prayer needs to be. And that's why sometimes the best prayer is, Spirit, bring me what you think is best for me. I am open to receiving what is best for me, knowing that I don't always have the best answer for what that is. I don't have the best perception of what that is. Releasing all of us now from any hate of life that we're feeling that is our own or someone else's. Okay, have we cleared the blocks to our gambler archetype? Yes. So now what percent are we open to our courage? What percent are we open to our courage? We're now 100% open to our courage. So now we got to look at blocks. So did what we just did unblock us at all? Now what percent are we blocked to our courage? No. So we're still 100% blocked. So let's dive into this block. What do we got going on here with this block to our courage? What is going on? We're going into chart 29. It's one of our final charts here. So let's go here. What is happening on chart 29 that is causing or creating a part of this block to our courage? It's coded into our physical DNA. We're just not that courageous as a species right now, y'all. We've been there, we've done that. We were pretty courageous during the dinosaur age, I would imagine. We were pretty courageous during a number of different ages where fighting to survive was in our day-to-day life. That's what you had to do. You had to fight to find food. You had to fight to survive this beast, or fight to survive this battle, this other tribe, whatever. And at that point, we were very courageous because we had to be. We are not courageous anymore because we don't have to be. We have too many luxuries, too many comforts. And that is part of what is beautiful about this life that I talked about the other day. We have absolutely no gratitude for how far we've come. We have absolutely no gratitude for how easy our lives are. But with that, just like every benefit, just like with every luxury comes a problem. There is nothing that does not also come with its own problem. And with luxury has come a lack of courage. We are no longer in the energy of, I know what it's like to have to fight for this. Now, a lot of people do. A lot of people, especially if you're lower class financially, or if you're in a different race than the majority, then yeah, you're still having to fight for your life every single day. And those people have courage. But a lot of us are blocked to our courage because we got it a little too easy. And that is now coded into our DNA. It's now been enough generations of luxury, enough generations of comfort that we are lacking in courage in our DNA. And we're going to need it now. So we're asking for all of our DNA to be downloaded with the energy of courage, with the programming of mental courage, emotional courage, spiritual courage, physical courage, to be able to confront what we are being asked to confront in these next few years. And I'm not trying to be alarmist, but we're going to need our courage in these next few years. Spirit has made that very clear to me. Okay, so what are we doing now to help unblock us to our courage now that we have got our physical DNA elevated, downloaded, where we're going back to that place we used to be thousands of years ago, where courage was synonymous with being human. If you were human, you were courageous. That was it. So now what are we going to do to help continue to unblock us to our courage? What do we got going on here? So we got chart 8B, which talks about some negative potentials, some programs, some positive potentials, self-destruction. Maybe we don't even want to be courageous. This goes back to that hate of life, right? It's like, why would I want to be courageous? Just like, why would I want to be anything other than bored, apathetic, and filled with blame if I'm really just hating on life? And I'm hating on life and I'm self-destructing. I'm hating on life and I'm self-destructing. So we're clearing all of us now from this tendency to self-destruct, from, again, believing that we have to self-destruct because there is no hope for a better way, a better future. We think this is just the way it's going to have to be. But somebody's going to have to shift that mindset for us to continue on successfully as a species into this next phase of humanity. And I believe in my niece's generation. She just turned 5 yesterday. I believe in her generation. But I want to believe in all of us now, immediately, effective immediately, for us to stop self-destructing. That is what is happening. That is what is happening when you look at the world around us. A lot of us are in the energy of self-destruction. So many of our problems we've placed upon ourselves, whether that's because of our eating habits, our drinking habits, our selection of mates, our selection of what we do with our lifestyle and our activity, whether that's what we allow in our brain to influence us. So many of us are in the energy of self-destruction. We've done it to ourselves. And you multiply that, you are not one person. We are all connected. If you multiply that one person that you know that's in this energy of self-destruction, and you multiply that by millions, and that's why I just want to call upon, I don't know why I'm thinking like the goddesses, right? The mothers of the world, our maternal ancestors, our mothers, our grandmothers, our aunts, our sisters. Those that have the hearts and the compassion to say, you are worth saving. Humans are worth saving. I don't care what Peter Thiel says. Humans are worth saving. Humans are worth saving. And I'm going to say it 1,000,000 times. Humans are worth saving. You are worth saving. We're really cool. There's not a lot of species like us, at least that we're aware of, right? Monkeys, they're kind of close. Dolphins are pretty amazing. Dogs, cats, they got their own thing going on. They're fantastic. But as I learned in one of my short videos the other day, they have their own consciousness. They're doing their own thing. Humans are special. I opened up my browser the other day at work to look something up, and immediately the headline that popped up was, we are in our 8th mass extinction event. Humans, you're it. I don't want that. I don't want that. I think humans are pretty cool, and we should keep going on for a really long time. We create a lot of really amazing things. We have some really amazing, beautiful, loving energy that we can continue to generate and add to the universe. And I want to see that keep going. So we're going to release all of us now from this energy of self-destruction. So now what percent are we blocked to our courage? Now what percent are we blocked to courage? Wow, not at all. Okay, that was that. We're going to call in our cleaning crew. We're going to call in the mop-up of the mop-up of the mop-up. We see our massive school gymnasium after a big event. And you see all of the workers going in and taking their brooms and taking their dust rags, cleaning up anything in all of our force fields, anything in our energy bodies, anything in our spirits and our souls that I didn't call out in the charts today. We're clearing it now. And then we go to our replacement energy chart. We know we already are being replaced with the energy of courage, but what other energies are we calling in right now to close out this clearing, to replace anything that got moved out of the way? So we're calling in joy for all of us. We're calling in abundance for all of us. Joy and abundance, those are our replacement energies today, everybody. All right, well, thank you for being here. Thanks for taking the time to watch these longer videos. I really do appreciate it. I hope that it is helpful for you in any kind of a way. I have no problem with just you sitting here and watching these collective videos, but also happy to chat with you if you want to reach out and talk about how we could do an individual session for you. You can find me and the kind of work that I do at www.thepointedstone.com. You can also purchase clearings and pendulums on my Etsy, www.thepointedstone.etsy.com. Take one more good exhale. Give it a shimmy, give it a shake, let out anything you still want to release. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on another episode of Clearing with Kate.